The Marshals Season 2 teaser dropped today. It opens with someone saying they've heard stories about the Duttons. That's the first line of the first footage from the next season of Marshals. And it dropped the same day Dutton Ranch's season finale confirmed that Carter is being held hostage in Texas by a cartel boss. Tate Dutton is somewhere in Texas with a man who wants to destroy his father. Carter Green is somewhere in Texas with a man who wants to destroy his aunt and uncle. Does Kayce have any idea how close he's about to be to Beth and Rip? And at what point does this stop being a setup and start being the crossover itself? Let's break it down. Before we get into it, if you're new to the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you considered subscribing. We cover every development across the entire Yellowstone franchise the moment it happens. And what happened today across both shows is the biggest day in franchise history since Yellowstone ended. Okay, let's establish both situations clearly, because the argument that the crossover has already begun only works if you understand what each show independently put in place. Marshals Season 1 ended on May 24, 2026. Tom Weaver, played by Chris Mulkey, spent 13 episodes positioned as a surrogate mentor to Kayce Dutton. He expressed concern for Kayce's well-being. He accepted Kayce's refusal to sell East Camp without visible anger. He brought his daughter Dolly into Kayce's life. And then the finale revealed he was behind every attack that season. The shooting at East Camp that nearly killed Thomas Rainwater. The ambush that left Cal and Belle fighting for their lives in the final moments of the episode. All of it traced back to a man who wanted Kayce's land badly enough to kill for it. And after his plan failed, Weaver offered to take Kayce's son Tate on a fishing trip to Texas to give the boy some distance from everything that had just happened. Kayce said yes. Tate is currently in Texas with the man who just tried to kill his father's boss. Kayce doesn't know. Then Dutton Ranch Season 1 ended on July 3, 2026. Mariano Reyes, played by Raul Max Trujillo, arrived in Rio Paloma, South Texas, after his son Joaquin called asking for help. Mariano quickly realized Beth and Rip had uncovered his fentanyl operation, hidden inside cattle being smuggled from Mexico. He sent armed men to the Dutton Ranch. Rip, Everett, Azul, and Zachariah stopped them. 5 of Mariano's men didn't make it back. Mariano had his right-hand man Gatto find Carter instead. Carter, who was at Sheriff Wade's office away from the protection of the ranch, had no warning. Mariano called Beth directly to tell her he has her son. Carter is currently in South Texas in the hands of a cartel boss. Beth and Rip don't know where. 2 Dutton sons, 1 state, 2 different threats. Neither father knowing the other's son is in the same situation, in the same place, at the same moment in time. And today, July 3, 2026, the Marshals Season 2 teaser dropped. The very first words of that teaser are someone telling Kayce they've heard stories about the Duttons, not the Marshals, not East Camp. The Duttons. That's the first signal Marshals Season 2 is sending before it shows a single scene of what's actually coming. Marshals showrunner Spencer Hudnut told Town & Country in March that he believes audiences deserve to see Kayce and Beth together again, and that after everything the Dutton family has lost, their relationship still matters to the larger story. That was in March, before either finale had aired. He said it knowing exactly where both shows were heading. Luke Grimes told Entertainment Tonight in April, when asked directly about a crossover, that he doesn't think it's out of the realm of possibility. Not a denial, not a deflection. A deliberate, measured opening of a door. Kelly Riley told TV Insider that she would absolutely imagine there'd be some checking in on her brother Kayce, and she described the absence of that storyline in Dutton Ranch Season 1 as a missed opportunity. Cole Hauser told the same outlet he loves working with Luke Grimes and that if there's a way to do something where they come together, whether in Texas or Montana, he's fully on board. Every lead actor on both shows has said the same thing in different ways. This is happening. The mechanism is already built. Here's the rehook. Because this is the part of the argument that nobody has framed quite right yet. The crossover wasn't designed by both shows sitting in a room together and deciding to coordinate their finales. That's not how this universe works. What happened is, both shows independently wrote their first seasons toward the same natural endpoint. Kayce's son is in Texas. Beth and Rip's son is in Texas. Kayce is a Navy SEAL who has spent an entire season being built into the most capable rescue operative in the franchise. Beth and Rip are facing a cartel leader who already defeated their first line of defense. Neither of them can win their fight alone, and both of their problems happen to be located in the same state. That's not a coincidence in search of a crossover. That's a crossover that wrote itself independently and is now unavoidable. The one existing thread connecting both shows before either finale aired was a single phone call Kayce made to Rip during Marshals Season 1, asking him to send some ranch hands to help at East Camp. That's it. One call. One confirmed moment of contact. And it confirmed the phone line exists. Now add Tate in Texas. Add Carter in Texas. Add the Marshals teaser opening on someone mentioning the Dutton family's reputation. The question isn't whether this crossover is coming. The question is which show it happens in first. Marshals Season 2 premieres this fall 2026 on CBS. Production confirmed started in early June. The show attracted over 20 million viewers to its premiere, before being renewed on March 12, 2026. If Kayce is heading to Texas to find Tate, he is heading directly into the same county where Beth and Rip are preparing to go to war with a cartel boss. Dutton Ranch Season 2 isn't expected until mid to late 2027, which means if the crossover happens first in Marshals, it sets up the aftermath for Dutton Ranch to inherit. Kayce and Rip fighting together to rescue both boys from two separate threats in the same state. And then Season 2 of Dutton Ranch beginning with the consequences of whatever that fight cost. This is the Yellowstone Universe's $3 billion franchise arriving at the moment it's been building toward since both spin-offs launched. 2 brothers-in-law, 2 kidnapped sons, 1 state, 1 war. So tell me what you think. Does the crossover happen in Marshals Season 2 this fall? Or does it wait for Dutton Ranch Season 2 in 2027? And when Kayce finds out Tate is in the same state as the cartel holding Carter, does he call Rip before or after he calls the Marshals? Drop your theory in the comments. I want to hear from everyone who just finished both finales on the same day. And if you want every update the moment either show's Season 2 footage drops, go ahead and subscribe. I'd really appreciate having you here for it. See you when the next piece of this lands.